Hello, and today we're looking at a time in the early church where there were so many new believers that the apostles were just too busy. They needed some help. So they chose 7 people to help them look after the day-to-day jobs of running their new church. And we're going to look today at some of the jobs that we still do now to run our church, and we're going to do that by making a chatterbox. So, some of you will already have a chatterbox printed out in the church craft pack, or because you've printed one out of Hayden's link. Others people will just have a plain piece of paper to make their chatterbox out of. Step 1. You cut out either your printed chatterbox, like Katie has already, Beth has already.
I might have had done for me.
Or you fold a piece of paper over, like this, to help you make a square. And then you cut just here. So I'm going to do that now.
So you're cutting yourself a square then, Mum?
I'm cutting myself out a square. Fantastic. And that, if you don't, well, either way, you've cut to complete step 1.
Ooh,
step 2. You need to fold your square corner to corner. So obviously I've done this already with one corner.
I'm doing it now.
But I need to fold it the other way as well. So that in the middle we've got this kind of cross where our chatterbox, the middle of our chatterbox. I'm just drawing this so you can see it. Now, if you've got a church chatterbox, you need to put the printed side on the bottom to start with.
Yeah, so like that.
So like that. And then we're folding the corners up to the middle.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So you're folding your printed corners up. Mine's just plain because I haven't written my descriptions yet. Okay, that's step 2 done. Step 3. You need to turn your paper over and fold the corners to the middle again. So turn my paper over, and here's my little square in the middle. And I'm just going to fold.
Turning it over like that.
Yep, and just fold the corners into the middle, just like you did before.
Oh, so like this, Mum?
Yes, just like that. And the more accurately you do it, the better. So if you can get that corner right into the middle, you're going to have a chatterbox that just works a bit better. There we go. And just wait for Beth to catch up.
Not quite as fast. See, me doing it proves anyone can do it.
Indeed. When you've done that, you need to fold your chatterbox in half. Okay. Now, this gives you 4 little flaps. When you've got a printed one or a plain one, you've got these flaps. Look, Beth, I'll show you.
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay, so put your fingers in 2 of the flaps and push them to the middle. Then put your fingers in the other 2 flaps and push them into the middle.
So like that.
You need to hold it differently, Beth. So like this.
Yeah.
You put your fingers in these 2.
Oh, yes,
and
I was
push it
doing
into
the wrong
middle.
2.
And then the other one. And if you wiggle and squish, you'll end up with something that looks a bit like this. Now, Beth's chatterbox is finished now because I've already written hers out for her. But if you've got a blank chatterbox like mine, you've got one more job to do. So think of an area of church life. So I'm going to think about children. And I'm going to write that here. And then think about what the church does to help with the children. So there's Sunday school. But there's also youth work. And then have a think, because you're going to put these inside, of what might be involved. So Sunday school, you might need to prepare things. And youth work, you might need to talk to crazy teenagers.
And buy a lot of food for them.
And buy a lot of food for them. Always good. Yes. So, if I do this and I pick on I'll fold my chatterbox back up. If I've picked on children now, then I've got Sunday school or youth work, and then I can lift up the flap and think about some of the things that we do in church to look after the children who go to our church. And that is today's craft.